Alright, well the first thing I gotta say is thanks for checking out the video, and thanks to all my subscribers out there. And if you're not a subscriber, do me a favor and please hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't checked out part 1, that's part 1 right there in the corner. Check part 1 out. The video shows me super struggling. If you want to see me super struggle, it's in part 1 right there. So check out the channel, it's on my channel. Part 2 here, we're going to go ahead and tackle the front bumper. I'm going to go ahead and tackle the front bumper, and I'm going to go ahead and take the whole front of the truck apart. And the reason for that is you can probably vinyl wrap the caps with all that on it, but I just figured that it would come out a lot cleaner if I just took it all apart, took the cap off, and then was able to wash.
Take this off so I can clean it real good.
That cap. I actually washed that cap in the sink, you know, the front and the back, and I took it all apart, and then I hit it with some rubbing alcohol. You want the parts to be really clean, because if you have any dirt behind it, you know, you're gonna see it. It's gonna pop up as like a little bump. So, and having all the other trim out of the way definitely helps, because the vinyl won't pick up any dirt off like the other pieces of paint or the headlight or the bumper or whatever, or the fender or whatever. So getting as much stuff out of your way would definitely help you out. Yeah, so right here, you know, I bought enough vinyl probably to do both caps up front, and I bought it probably a little more than I needed, but I really didn't know how much I needed, how much was going to be too much. So, but it really wasn't that expensive. I think to wrap the front, it was about $30 to wrap the front. So, not too bad, and probably bought too much vinyl, but yeah, I'll leave a link down in the description box where I got it if you want to check that out. I got it off Amazon, but the seller, he offers it in a bunch of different sizes, and it's pretty affordable. I was pretty surprised how cheap it actually is for the results you get. I mean, for $30 for getting rid of the chrome off the front of my truck, it's totally worth it. If you were to paint it, it'd probably cost you a lot more. So it's definitely a good option. So right here, I'm just trying to get the piece. It's really way too big, but I'm trying to see if it's going to fit all the way around. And I got it that big because the bumper cap, right there on the bottom, it curves over. That piece that curves around on the bottom is really big. So there's a lot of angles. The front bumper, I mean, it has so many angles that honestly, I don't, you know, when I start, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pull this stuff, or where should I even start to pull it. So, again, if you haven't watched part 1, you know, I might get kind of repetitive if you've seen part 1, but yeah, I've never vinyl wrapped before in my life. So, this is actually my second day. I wrapped the rear bumper the day before, and felt good enough to where I'm going to try the front. So, you know, right here, I'm just, you know, I'm feeling a lot better. I got the squeegee out. You know, in the first video, I was kind of afraid to use a squeegee, but my confidence level is actually a lot higher now. I've learned a little more on what this stuff can do, you know, how much pressure you can put on it. But the biggest thing that, you know, if you're going to try it yourself, that you need to keep in your head is that you're just, if you can get it to wrap around whatever object you're wrapping in one big move, like in big moves, that's going to speed it up, and it's going to come out better that way. So if you can stretch it around a big piece and get it to lay flat, it's definitely going to help you out. Inch by inch, if you try to wrap it inch by inch, it can get frustrating. I mean, you can get it done that way because that's how I learned how to do the back bumper. And I do it to the front bumper. I kind of just push it inch by inch in some spots. a lot of spots. Because I don't know what to do with it, because I just don't have enough experience. So here I'm actually just trying to figure out how all the corners are going to work, and how this stuff's going to stretch right, and where am I going to get into trouble at when I start pulling it. Like if I pull it around the top over here, am I going to be able to pull it from the bottom? What am I going to be left with in this corner? I'll be left with these big, huge, fingers, big old wrinkles. So I'm just working it, trying to figure it out. But yeah, prior to this, for some reason, I didn't watch any of the YouTube videos on how to do it, which I should have done. And when I was done with the whole thing, I ended up pulling some YouTube videos up. And I don't really remember his name, but he has a really good channel on, this guy. He does it for a living. And if I would have watched him first, I definitely would have done this a little bit better. But I didn't, so this is just me figuring it out. Some of the parts will get kind of long, it might get kind of boring, but I just kind of left it like that. So, anybody that's might want to try it, especially if you have a newer body style Tundra and you want to try it, you can kind of see what you're going to get involved in, because the internet can be very deceiving on how easy things are. And so I left it, as long as I could without it making the video incredibly boring. I mean, by the time as much videos I had recorded for this, I had there was over 6 hours with the video. So the editing of this is just pretty much a nightmare. But I just really wanted to show what you're gonna get involved in, And right there, that's where the fog light's at. And basically, you can just kind of heat it and push it in, and heat it and push it in, heat and push it in. I mean, the stuff is really durable, and you can just push it with your fingers and push the bubbles out and stretch it. You stretch it with your fingers, and yeah, it turns out that they actually sell. I didn't know this at the time, but they actually sell gloves you can buy. That you can wear that I guess they make your hands not as sticky, not as grippy. I guess that will help you vinyl wrap if you want to vinyl wrap with your hands. And I can totally say that I should have bought it. It would have definitely helped me out because I use my hands a whole bunch. But I know on Amazon you can buy the little kits which come with that card I'm using, which is a 3M card. It's pretty soft. And it comes with some felt tips for it, and actually the glove, and it's pretty inexpensive, and it will definitely help you out. And yeah, I'll just leave a link down in the description box. You can go check that out if you want to check that out. Yeah, so the face of the bumper is pretty simple. I mean, nothing really hard. I'm just going at it. I'm just pulling it, pushing on it. My confidence level is a lot higher after the back bumper. So, but I actually do get the heat gun out a lot more times than this, and that's a big piece of vinyl I got there. But there's plenty. I had plenty to grab, and when you heat it up like that, it just becomes like crazy. crazy stretchy and crazy like thin, I guess. Not really thin, but it's like right there when you pull on it, you can pull it just around and just you know, when you start off messing with it, I really don't know how far you can pull it or heat it, you know, before it just rips or before it like the color becomes distorted. So you know, the whole time I was just trying not to find out. I just wanted to do it in one, you know, one try. So maybe later on I still have some spare pieces I can go and go test its limits on. I need to go do that. It's like I might wrap some interior pieces, get rid of some of those chrome pieces inside the car. Some of those scraps I got left. Yeah, it's a whole lot of pulling and stretching. One more heat. I just end up pulling it around the corners, you know, and pulling it around. I just end up wrapping it around the back and just cutting it with a knife. And didn't really know how much to leave in the back, you know, if I left too much or not enough, because I didn't know if it was going to shrink on me and pull off or whatever, but we'll see how that goes later on down the road. It's probably been on the truck for, I don't know, about a month maybe a little longer, and it's still holding up pretty well. So yeah, a little more heat and just pulling on it, just working it. Not nearly as frustrated as I was with the back bumper. It's kind of weird. The front bumper's harder, but not nearly as frustrated. Yeah, so the vinyl, you know, you can pull it and stick it on and pull it off. The stuff's pretty amazing. You can get the bubbles out of it pretty easily. It's really friendly. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions about any of this, you know, I'll try to answer them to the best I can. I'm not a professional you know, vinyl wrapper or anything like that. Again, I've never done it before, except for this time right here. So, but I can definitely share my experience with you if you have any questions. And just hitting up all the edges with the glue card. Make sure I get enough coverage. But I don't want to see any flaws with it. When I put everything back together, I want it to look just, you know, like it's paint. And it looks good. I mean, I don't know how well it's, if you can really tell in the video how well it looks, but it's shiny, and the color is not exactly the same color as the truck, but it's white. And I don't think nobody has told me that it looked wrong or different or anything. So I think anybody knows that it's vinyl. So that's a good thing. So with that top edge right there, just trying to get it as far in as that edge I can get, because there's that cover piece that hangs over it. But if you look at it straight dead on, like when you're washing the truck, you can see pretty far into it, you know. So you want to get I was trying to get as far into it as I
Alright,
can,
so
and
it took me
then I
about
kind of
3
skip over
hours.
to when I'm done
Fuck.
with that side. And it's nighttime. I don't
So
think
it
it's
took
like
me
11
about 3
o'clock. I think I
hours.
started around
Pretty big pain in the
5:30
ass.
or 6 or something like that. So it's time
That's
for
gonna
me
have to
to
wait till later.
go to bed. And then the next morning I just started on the other side. And by this time I pretty much just had it. I think I've had enough of it. So I'm just going like as fast as I can. And my technique is getting a little different. I'm getting a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive, I guess you can say. Because I just want it over with by this point. But you can see that if you kind of trust, your, if you know what the vinyl is going to do and you trust yourself, you know what's going to happen. You can just get through it, like right there. If I would have had a little bit more heat, it probably would have just gone. But learning. Yeah. So in the video, I'm just trying to highlight some of the, some of the different angles, some of the hard angles like that. That right there is a really hard corner. Is that bottom left corner, and then I'm gonna try to show you a close-up view of that fog light hole. Because it ends up being, you gotta end up kind of having to stretch it, and you kind of see how glossy the vinyl ends up becoming. And that's like as tight as a little drum right there. I mean, I know when I was doing it, I was kind of worried that I would if I cut it, if it would just rip open. But it actually sticks pretty well. It stuck pretty well. So I'm just working with the card a little bit, and I'll add some heat to it and stretch it out. Yeah, so right there, I really don't know what its limit is. I mean, if I'm just gonna stab it or what, if it's gonna tear or what. So, but I do know I can add a little bit of heat to it, and it will stretch it a little bit more. Yeah, again, some of this can get kind of boring, but I just kind of wanted to demonstrate some real time what it takes to get some of this done. You'll spend some real time in these little areas if you're gonna try to do this. You've never done it before. Well, I guess it's a good time to just to say, you know, if you haven't checked my channel out, go ahead and do that. Got a couple different vehicles I'm working on. I got the Tundra, I got a Wrangler, and I got a Cherokee. So I got some Jeep stuff on there if you're into Jeeps. And actually, my buddy Bo, I'm working on his Honda, so there'll be some Honda videos. I don't know if anybody's into Hondas, but there will be some Honda videos. And I actually got a couple house videos of me doing some things around the house. So I'm gonna learn how to do some things around the house. Got some videos on that too. It's me messing around. Here's just another angle, that side angle. Just pulling it, heating it, and pulling it. The truck gonna need some tires pretty soon, so if anybody has some recommendations on some tires, I don't think I'm gonna get some BFGs again. I'm gonna get something else. Might bump the size up a little bit, but thinking about getting some other type of all-terrain. If anybody's got any recommendations, you know, I'm looking. Those BFGs are a little bit out of my price range, so I think I'm gonna make a video pretty soon on some bed lighting. I got a hold of a bed lighting kit. It's actually a Toyota kit. So be on the lookout for that video. I haven't made that one yet, but it'll be on the channel at some point. Yeah, I mean, it's like right there, I kind of had to start over a little bit. I had to kind of re-pull it just because of the bottom. I couldn't get enough I needed out of the bottom, so I kind of had to start over. And that just comes down to, like, I guess your game plan on which way you're going to start pulling vinyl around. But you could easily pull yourself into a problem. And the only way is just, you're just going to have to, I don't know, learn. It's kind of, it's a weird skill to develop. You just kind of learn by doing it. You just, there's no way to really explain it very well, I guess, because I haven't done enough of it, but so I'm just going to wrap it around the back edge. Just make sure that those back edges are really clean. Really clean. You don't want that stuff lifting at all. I'm going to wrap it around there and wrap it around and just cut it with a knife. It's a little more of, what's that? The very bottom, I mean that piece on the bottom, that bottom had really big, so some pretty big stretches, and you can tell that the vinyl started to get pretty thin, and you kind of worried that, like, how thin can it get before it changes color. But in a few spots, I think I might have over pulled it in a few spots, like there's a few lines, but you'll never be able to tell unless you like are laying on the floor and actually looking right at it and be like, oh look, you kind of over pulled it right there. So yeah, the bottom half of that bumper cap is really big, and it's just a crazy curve, and you've already pulled the vinyl all into a bunch of different ways, so it's a little tricky. Just a whole lot of patience and determination, I guess, and get you through it. Got me through it. Yeah, so I really haven't mastered, shrinking those fingers with the heat gun at all at this point. That's definitely going to take some more experience. But yeah, you can actually heat those fingers out of it. And this video clip coming up right here is from one of my other videos where I replaced that grill, and that shows the caps. They're done. That's the only video I have of the caps done right now, because right now the weather is just so bad. The truck's super dirty, and so I had to kind of reuse some video. Yeah, it turned out really well.
Well, guys, thanks for checking out the video. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment box below. You guys take care, be safe. Have a great weekend.